Thank you guys. And so, what I want to talk about today is just motivating and inspiring. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your very first time clicking on this YouTube channel, I welcome you here. And then I'll also have a video that is related to what I'm talking about here that will just kind of give you the main points or summarize the main points of what we talk about. Okay. And so this is how we're going to launch it is I'll share with you information, tips, share stories, my experience, my takeaways from other people's experience as well. And then I'll also do a part two that is just mainly highlighting the main points of the first of part one. Okay. So this is part one. I'm not sure how I'm going to title this video yet, but it's going to have something to do with motivating and inspiring a mother from a teacher's perspective. So starting out, just to kind of give you a backdrop to what I want to share today. As mothers, sometimes we are overwhelmed. We are a little bit stressed. We carry a lot of burdens. I happened to speak with a mother recently. I had to make a phone call home and I had to speak with a mother about a situation having to do with their daughter. And through the conversation, she said to me, "You really inspired me. You really, gave me a lot to think about." And she was just thanking me and everything like that. So I wanted her to know that, listen, I had to make a phone call to you, but I didn't want her to feel at the end of the conversation like, I was beating up on her or her child. And so I had to find some positive ways and means of communicating with this mother. Because usually when you speak to a parent, it's not just talking, you also have to listen, right? Because communication is a two-way street. We need to talk and we need to also to convey the information, of course, and we also need to in turn listen. We also need to listen to what is not being said. And so I have a tendency or a knack of doing that in my conversations is I need to listen. I listen to what is not being said and I'm able to pick up, okay, what might be going on at home. Okay. And in doing so, my job is to leave something positive with that parent. I don't just want, that parent to feel even further frustrated because parents do have a lot of frustrations. And when a teacher is calling home with a negative report, that can leave that parent feeling even more frustrated. Especially when you have parents who really want to support the teachers. They really want, to make that teacher know that, listen, I heard you. I am going to take care of, this, that, and the other thing. I am going to make sure that I speak with my child and this will not be continuing. But then, you're calling in the midst of dinner being prepared, grocery being bought, bills being paid. Parents have a lot of responsibilities, right? And especially mothers play a very significant role at home. So the mother that I had to speak with, I just shared with her and I extended beyond, the phone call that I called about, right? And one of the things that I did was I encouraged and inspired and motivated this mother. How did I do that? So I had to remind mom that, listen, when a child begins to act up at home, sometimes it's a cry for attention. A lot of times it's due to peer pressure, right? And so one of the things that we want to stay away from as mothers is we don't want to be too judgmental. We don't want to be too hard on those kids. We're being hard on a child. Sometimes we are being hard on ourselves because, when, a parent is sharing with you and they're saying to you things like, they don't want to clean up, all they want to do is play on their devices, on their cell phones and play video games and things of that nature. You have to listen for that effort that that mother is trying to make and the challenges that they are facing in the home. Now, as a mom who raised two boys, which I'm so super proud to say that I raised two boys single-handedly. Yes, I did. It was not easy. It was a challenge. One of the things I shared with this mom that helped me was the fact that at some point we had to get a family counselor, an intervention, so to speak. I did not even care for it at the time. I was like, listen, I am too busy. I don't have time for this. I have to cook. I have to get the kids off to bed. I have to make sure my homework is done because also as a mom, you can be a student. You can be working two jobs. You have some mothers, we are married, we are in relationships. And so you don't just have mothering or parenting to deal with. You have, household chores. You have other responsibilities, other things that you have to attend to. And so for me, I was one of those mothers where I was not always a full-time student. However, I was that mother I stayed busy. Whether it was I was involved in church or I was going to school or, something, it was community involvement of some sort. And so I can relate to a lot of mothers out there that have all these responsibilities that they need to take care of. And so when I hear a mother saying, listen, I need, him or her to assist with this in the home, and these are the challenges that I'm facing here. Sometimes you just putting a little input and saying, I get it, mom. I totally understand. I can totally relate. Makes a whole lot of difference in the conversation. And I shared with that mom how I had to stop sometimes and just breathe, because we want the kids to do this. We want them to be perfect. We want them to be, we want them to get good grades. We want our children to be the best. Show me a parent who does not want their child to be the best. Just show me one. Most, if not all, parents want their child to be the best. They want them to be the best or the better, a better version of who they are. They want them to excel in everything that they do. They want to know that their child was respectful to a teacher. They want to know that when they go out into the world, into the communities, that their child is representing them well, Some parents really take that on. Like, if my child does poorly, it's going to reflect on me, especially if you're from the Caribbean. You are expecting your child to do everything that they can do out there to represent you well. When that child speaks very well, is very articulate, is very respectful, and they earn these different awards and accolades in school, it makes us feel good about ourselves. It makes us feel proud that, this is my child, I'm parenting, this is how the world is looking, and in turn, the world is seeing me as a good role model for my child. And the opposite is true, right? So when that child is acting up at school, they're mouthing off, they're being disrespectful, they're being disruptive in class, they're not doing their work, their grades are slipping, they're not taking their work seriously. That parent can also feel like, I'm a failure. So the message that we send to our parents, and this is not, anything about teachers or tips for teachers or anything like that. There'll be other videos for that. Today is specifically about inspiring a mother, right? Because I'm sharing my experience with you guys from the conversation I had with that parent who was able to say to me, Miss Thompson, you really turned this around. You really inspired me. And I'm going to share some of the things that I advise this parent to do. This parent has 3 girls, and I'm just going to share a little some of the details with you guys. She has specifically 3 daughters, and it just so happened they're all in different age groups, and I have had the privilege of teaching all 3 at some at different stages and different grades at some point or another over the past 2 years. And so I've had a relationship with this parent. There was already an established relationship with the parent because I have taught the daughter in previous years, in previous grades. And so I was able to speak with her and say, listen, this is not a reflection on you. Also, I did advise my parent not to do the yelling, not to approach the situation in a way where, they're looking like they're upset with the child. I was just simply saying to the parent, listen, just have a talk with your child. Just have a conversation, a very light conversation. Just let them know, listen, I'm not mad with you. I'm not upset with you. I just want to have a conversation. I just want to know, what's going on, right? Because oftentimes you just want that child to be open with you and to trust you to communicate with you about what's really going on. Okay? Sometimes it's a cry for attention, especially when it has to do with an attitude situation like this situation was. Is it peer pressure? Is it stuff that's going on in the home, right? A lot of times we project our pressure and our burdens and our stressors onto our kids. I had to learn that when I had our intervention with my family. And when I heard that, I was taken aback because I was thinking to myself, now how do I separate my emotions and my anxieties and my stressors from raising my kids? That was a question that I had. And, our counselor advised us, like, yes, it's not easy to do that, but try and try doing, getting your feelings and your emotions out in different ways. Maybe try journaling, writing down what your day was like once your kids have gone to bed. But the idea was to try to raise your kids in a nurturing and supportive environment, right? No one is contesting the fact that you love your kids, but a lot of times we do have these stressors, and time is a factor. And so getting kids to school on time is a factor. Getting to work, parents, especially parents who do go to work and have to take the kids to school, we can tend to, yell at the kids, especially like, we have to go, let's go. And sometimes you have those babies who are not really organized. They don't know where their stuff is. They don't know where their shoes is in the morning, just to give you an example. And so you don't want to be that parent who is just like raging mad at your children in the morning, because that sets the tone for their day, right? And with this parent, I gave some tips and advice. I said, you want to pause sometimes, tell your children you love them, express to them that they mean the world to you, express to them how you feel when you don't have the help that you need from them. Let them understand rather than yelling at them. Talk to them, talk with your child or your children, and let them understand that, hey, you're also likewise under a lot of pressure. Give them, talk to them and reason with them. Let them know that, hey, life is so demanding sometimes. Life can be really tough. Let them know these things, guys, because they are kids. They don't understand the adult world yet, right? So we're thinking they should know these things, but they really don't. We are the ones who have to explain to them and say, listen, work is challenging. Life is challenging as a whole. School can be challenging. Life is tough. And let them know it's tough for me too. Right? Think about it. Share with them. Say, hey, I'm a mom. And I did not know things were going to be this tough. Right? But I have to cook. It takes me a long time. I have to grocery shop. It's difficult. I always have to think about what it is that we're going to have for dinner. Like decisions. And yes, some people would argue this is all a part of adulthood. I'm not arguing that point. Yes, that's a part of being an adult or being a mother. But a lot of times we think our children know these things. And so we yell at them as opposed to speaking with them. We yell at them. We scream at them because we get frustrated. So some of the things that we want to do is we want to share, we want to express with our kids. Express to them how you feel. What's going on? Talk with them. Remind them that you do love them and appreciate them when they do something at home. Right? So one of the things I was sharing with the mom that I spoke with is give them incentives. If you don't have a lot of money, use what you have. It could be $1, it could be $2. It's better than nothing at all. Explain to them that, hey, I'm going to put it out there. I'm giving you $5 this week, or the first person, if you have more than one child, to get this chore done, right? Or to do the chore the best is going to get, make it a competition, make it fun, right? Put on some calming and relaxing music at home during the evening time. Create that structure for them, right? Yes, you want them to get the homework done. And yes, you want them to do everything that they have to do. It might look like I just got shorter all of a sudden because the way I'm sitting, all of a sudden I can't sit that way anymore because I was sitting on my leg and now it's starting to cramp. So have fun with your kids, right? And one of the things I was saying to her is, when was the last time you guys did something like have a pillow fight, have game night at home, right? Sometimes we try to make all these, lengthy, this time consuming dinners. And these are some of the things that I had to learn when I was raising my children. It's listen, every meal doesn't have to be an hour or an hour and a half type meal, because the less time you spend in the kitchen and being stressed out about slaving over the perfect meal, it's the more time you have to spend with your kids before everybody's super tired. Everybody's waking up early in the morning, coming back home, then you're doing dinner, and then it's like by that time 6-7 o'clock at night, you're tired. Think about it. If we're tired as adults, our kids are tired as well. And so, excuse me, but what can you do? What can you do, right? Some people, if you have a dishwasher, hey, run that dishwasher. Hey, if those dishes need to stay, and listen, I speak from my heart. I speak the truth. And these are just my opinions. You don't have to necessarily agree with everything that I am going to say here. Okay? This is my channel. This is where I get to express myself. So I want to remind everyone, if you want to comment, if you don't agree, I just ask you, like the video at this point. If you like what I'm saying, go ahead and give the video a like. If you don't like what I'm saying, that's okay as well. But just remember, guys, this is my channel. This is based on my experiences that I'm saying. This mother was motivated and inspired based on what I told her. This was a behavior call. This was your child is having this attitude with me at school. However, I do like your child. I want your child to be kind to me, because guess what? Teachers are humans. And this is how I expressed to the mother. I said, I do want to have and build a good relationship with your child, right? Due to maybe peer pressure, maybe your child is behaving this way due to peer pressure. Like, oh, now I got all these kids around me looking at me, and now this teacher is trying me, and I have to be this way because I'm not going to let her, act as though she could talk to me this way. You know what I mean? Is when a child starts doing that and being disrespectful, who knows? Maybe that child is feeling stressed out, right? When you get to a certain grade, especially, and you're having to do exams and especially if you're from a home where you're expected to be perfect, you're expected to be a good girl, you're expected to be a good boy, you're expected to to do all the things that you're supposed to do. And no one's perfect. No one is perfect. No child is perfect. Children need love. They need to be loved. They need to be told, I love you. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Right? Even if you feel like, oh my gosh, I want to rip my hair out. And I told that mom this. I said, listen, try not to let that stress show on you, because it's just going to cause gray hairs to come in. And I said to her, listen, get a box of dye and make sure you cover up those grays, pull your hair back, slick it back and look beautiful, and smile, for crying out loud, like laugh with your kids. And I said to her, I said, pillow fight with your kids, have fun with them. Yes, the teacher is calling from school to say your child is having an attitude, but you yelling and screaming at your child is not the answer. Is not the answer. And so what was I doing? I was a teacher making that report, but I was also giving her the advice and the tips that said, hey, love on your kids. This time goes by so quickly. And I tell people this, if you can survive the teenage years with your children, then you're going to look back on this 10, 15 years down the line, and you're going to be like, listen, this was not the worst thing. We made it through. I said to her, this too shall pass, right? The development, the social development, guys, it is what it is. They go through these different, children go through all these different phases and stages. I went through it as a young girl, as a teenager, you know what I mean? Where you're a little bit, my mom called it outspoken, all right? Very opinionated, okay? And so we do get to that age where we feel like I want to speak my piece, and sometimes kids can get to feeling like, I can never say I can never have an opinion. You know what I mean? And so you want your child to trust you. You want your child to feel like they can talk to you. You don't want to let your child feel like I never have a say, right? And you have the kids that are going to, push back. And especially if both parents are not on the same page, one parent is allowing devices and freedom with, the cell phones and the games, while one parent doesn't see the big deal, and one parent sees like, oh, it's taking away from them studying and doing their chores at home. Now you have a situation where it's like, okay, guys, I've tried so many times to make sure I have my water, and I do. So pardon me, I just have to get my water here because I knew once I start talking, I get thirsty. Okay? So guys, I just want to pause for a second and thank you again. If you are still here with me up to this point of the video, guys, please watch to the end. If you're still here watching, I thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't take anything for granted. You could have found something else, something better to do with yourself, with your time, and you decided to stop in on my channel. I really do appreciate it. If I teach you, because I'm inviting everybody, my kids that I'm teaching, welcome to my channel. And a lot of them are like super excited. They're like, oh, Miss Thompson. Yes. And I've been telling them, yes, you're going to see me on YouTube, you guys. And so I'm super excited. We want to learn and grow together. We want to educate ourselves. I want to build value in education for children. I want to motivate and inspire mothers and even educate them, because a lot of times I'm like, we need more parent education. We need that. And a lot of times I told myself, if I had to do that job where I'm just a parent liaison, I would love to do that. Now, I don't speak so many languages, right? My first language is English, and I do speak a little Spanish, un poquito español, but other than that, oui, parlez-vous français? Is not very much, okay? Okay? Oui, parlez-vous français? Parlez-vous créole? Parlez créole? No parlez créole? Como ye? This is Creole. Okay? Muy bien. I don't say much in the other languages. Okay? I know nothing of Italian, nothing of German, nothing. Anyway, the main thing is, I know with like that position, you would need like different languages to be able to communicate with parents and to be able to share with them some tips and ideas. However, if you speak English and you understand English and you want to come to this channel, even if you want to learn, like I'll do some videos, guys, on adult education things. I've worked with adults before. I've tutored adults. So if English is not your first language and you're interested and you want some videos on that, or you want more parental tips, those types of videos, please let me know. Feel free to let me know in the comments, because I have loads and loads of ideas and tips. So as I said, this is just a part one of the story that I wanted to share, the story version of the motivating and inspiring mothers. And then there's going to be a part two that is going to break down and just highlight and bullet list some of those tips, some of the things that we can do as parents and as mothers. And before I wrap it up, I did also share with that mother that at the end of the day, love on yourself as a mother. Love on yourself. Give yourself that time. Go look in the mirror and say, I love you. You are doing great. You are doing an awesome job. Because as a parent, as a mother, sometimes we need to hear that. You're doing everything. You feel like you're doing everything you can. And at the end of it, you get a call from the teacher. It doesn't make you feel really good. But we need to understand at the end of the day that you are getting up every day, you are feeding your children, you are cooking for them, you are keeping their home clean. You're the person doing all that stuff. Sometimes we go out and work as a mother, and you have a lot on your plate. You just have a lot on your plate. And so, I tend to do this. I want to drink water, so bear with me. Let me drink some water. Whew. I get really, really thirsty when I talk. And I've been teaching all day and talking most of the day. And so I get super thirsty. So I have to hydrate. So guys, yes. So that's what this video is all about. I promised that I wouldn't be too long-winded. I wanted to get the really good natural lighting today. And so where I'm sitting is, I have natural light. And so I'm hoping that the lighting was good. Everything was good. Clearly, I'm a new YouTuber. Clearly, I'm a new YouTuber. And so, things are not going to be perfect, but hopefully I can grow, within this YouTube, society, or, in this YouTube space. And I can, invite in my people, my community. My channel again is Brace Women Empowerment. And, yeah, you're a bracer. Brace just means hold on, be strong, hold the fort, don't give up, stay encouraged, love yourself, love your family, love on your children. When there's no one else to give you that love and that support, you have to, as a female, especially as a woman, especially as a mother, you have to dig deep, motivate yourself, encourage yourself, stay strong. And guys, I'm just going to share this with you. I'm also a Christian, and I'm also a faith-believing person, and I do also believe in the words of Scripture as well. And it tells us, guys, just be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. I'm going to leave you with those words. Just be encouraged. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. And also another one, guys, is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So when you feel as though you cannot make it and you feel as though you want to give up, and this is for anybody, my students, my parents out there, mothers out there, you feel like I have done everything and I am at my wit's end. I don't know where to go. I can do all things. I can do all things. You have to tell yourself, use those affirmations. I am strong. I am able. I am smart. Use those affirmations. And we'll do so many videos with affirmations and positivity. Positivity, guys. At the end of the day, stay positive, stay focused, believe in yourself, believe in your children, believe in everything that you are doing. Just continue staying positive. There is nothing like being positive and just holding the fort. Even if you mess up, even if you have a bad day, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. Okay? We are all going through it. We're all going through something. We're all going through challenges. And challenges are there to help us grow. Challenges are there simply to help us to grow. And so if your struggle is as a parent, as a mother, you feel like, you've just been down on yourself. You feel like you want to give up. You feel like there is nothing that you're doing right. Even if you're a teacher and you're a parent and you feel like, wow, I'm so overwhelmed. Like I don't even have time. Just breathe. Stop and breathe. I know everything is important. I know right now my son is a senior in high school and he has SATs coming up and he has, he's a dancer and it's very demanding. And so he has rehearsals and he works and he's doing volunteer hours, trying to get those hours, those community service hours, and it's on and on and on and on. But we have learned to just stop and breathe And some days we're not gonna worry about the homework that didn't get done. We are gonna stop and we're gonna live life. We're gonna laugh. We are going to play video games. I mean, not video games. I don't play video games. We are gonna play board games rather. We do play a lot of board games, Monopoly. Like we love to play Scrabble. Like all those things, guys. Just stop. And one of the things I was also suggesting to my mom, to the mom that I spoke with, is, pardon me, not my mom, but the mom that I spoke with, is I like to use the term my kids, my parents, things like that. What I like to tell my parents, you have daughters, hey, have a girls' night, paint, dress up in pajamas or shorts or whatever, and paint each other's toes and plait each other's hair. If you have teenage daughters in middle school, when was the last time you sat with them and did that kind of stuff, and just let them know, just hug on them, just love on them? Guys, it doesn't take much, and sometimes we have to stop. We got to stop worrying about, oh, the house needs to be swept, this need to be done, the beds have to be made, this is out of place. Like, just stop, because at the end of the day, your children they're not standing still. Every year that comes around, they grow up, they get older. And they're one step further out the door. And that time is going to come and you're going to look back and be like, what happened to the time? My children are no longer here. And you know what they're going to remember? They're going to remember how you made them feel while they were growing up. They're going to remember if you spent time with them, if you made them feel loved, if you made them feel wanted, if you made them feel important. That's what they're going to remember. When they are grown and gone, that's what they're going to remember. And you can either help them to be a better mom or the best mom by changing now the things that you are not doing well, implementing new ideas, creative, just family time. I can't say enough about spending time with your kids, telling them you love them. When they're going to school in the morning, let them know, put on positive music in the morning. Just say positive things. Just say affirmations. Today is going to be a great day. What are you looking forward most about today? When it comes to Friday, get excited about Friday. It's Friday. Woo! It's the last day of the week. We made it. You guys did it. Like, give them the thumbs up. Like, cheer them on. Cheer them on. Let them know you're their number one supporter. Let them know. Let them know. And when it comes to yourself, because and let me tell you something. When you do that for your children, they are going to, in turn, give it right back to you. They're going to do the same thing that you did with them. When you start cheering them on and you start saying, show up to their games, do whatever it is you can. If they're in extracurricular activities, you have to be that mom, that dad that is going to cheer them on. If you're like an older sister or an aunt, go show up, support them, let them know that you are there for them. And in turn, they will support you. Because I remember I did that with my children. And in anything, guys, and with some kids, it's easier to see the positives than with others. And so you have to some children, you really have to look. Because if they're always getting in trouble at school and the teacher's always calling and there's always a negative, thing, they're going to have the stigma thinking, I'm no good. They're going to end up with low self-esteem, and we don't want that for our children. So we have to find the good in our children. Try to find the good in our children. And you'll be surprised. You can cultivate and motivate, and you can, the word that I'm looking for is cultivate. You are in a unique position to be able to cultivate who you want your little ones to become. You want them to be responsible? Ask them. Say, hey, you want to help me with this today? If you're sweeping, say, hey, do you want to help me? Do you want to be mommy's little helper? You would be surprised how children jump at the chance to help you. And if you're like a grandmother, this is for everybody. It doesn't matter, my channel, that we don't do age here. Doesn't matter how old you are, old or young. Invite your child, your grandchild, your nieces, your nephews, your children. If you've adopted children, it does not matter. Invite them to help you with stuff in the house. Hey, I'm fixing breakfast. Do you want to crack the eggs? You have to sound excited about it. But if you're going to yell at them and be like, I don't know how you guys are going to eat. I don't know what you're going to eat because I'm not making nothing. Or I got to cook these eggs. No. No, nobody's going to get excited to want to come into that kitchen and help you. But if you make it to where you're like, guys, I'm making scrambled eggs. You want to come in here and help me crack the eggs? And if they are like, no, because they rather play their video games, don't give up. Don't give up. You could just be like, okay, but it's really cool when I start whipping them up. The colors are going to change and, the yolks break and everything. Like, just talk to them. Just talk them through it and be like, yeah, guys, yeah, you could come help me put the butter in the pan. Of course, you're going to be safe. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying take your little kids, 4 and 5-year-olds in the kitchen and burn themselves. No. But what I'm saying is get them involved. Get them involved. Let them see the way how you're doing things. If you're making a pancake, get them involved. If you're baking a cake, get them involved. You're making macaroni and cheese, get them involved. You're making oodles and noodles, ramen noodles, doesn't matter. Get them involved. Get them excited about it. You could be pouring cereal. Get them excited. Guys, listen to the way, when you pour the milk in there, it crinkles, it makes a sound or whatever. Just get creative. And guys, I used to think I don't have time. My kids, they just need to go in there, do their homework. They know what's expected. It's, blah, 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 blah. And I had to stop and say, wow. My children need me to lead by what? Example. They need to see me having fun. And we had to get things done on the weekend. That was a time when we cleaned up, we did laundry, places got swept and mopped and everything else got done. And I remember I decided, you know what? Pause. We don't need to, yes, it's chores and yes, it's burdensome, but we don't need to make it stressful. We're going to put some music on. We're going to dance. We're going to have fun while we're sweeping. You're going to show me your dance moves. I remember I could have my nephews, over. My nieces and my nephews could, like, anybody could drop their kids off to my house. I didn't feel pressured. We still had to get stuff done, but we were going to have fun. We were going to have fun doing everything that we had to do because Auntie Shoya, Mommy Shoya, Miss Thompson, I was going to go ahead and make sure they were having fun with what they had to do. Okay, you show me your dance moves. All right, but while you're doing that, let's sweep up. Okay, get the dustpan. You get the dustpan. You get the dust. Okay, you go get the broom, and we're still dancing and we're still having fun. All right, because we don't want to separate things like chores and make it seem, and guys, kids are smart. If you're fussing, you're washing the dishes and you're never happy and you think they're going to want to do it. They're not going to want to do it. And these were just a few examples, guys. This is not, in no way, this does not represent every home. Every home is different, and I'm aware of that. Every situation is different, and I'm aware of that. There are challenges, real challenges, right? People are dealing with different things. So don't think that, I'm just one, this is just for one particular situation. And I'm hoping, I know the mother that I had to speak with was inspired. She told me so herself. She thanked me and she told me, She was thankful for the reminders that I gave her, even telling herself that she loves herself, even doing that at the end of the day. Once you put your kids to bed and everybody's gone, you need to spend time with yourself and say, hey, look at me. I'm awesome. I did that. And if it's you got help from somebody, high five somebody. We did that. We got through today. We have a clean house. Our kids came back home safely. And we put them to bed. I used to joke all the time. People would ask me, how are your kids doing? I'd say, they're doing great. I didn't kill anybody yet. My mom would call and say, how are the kids doing? I said, they're fine. They're still alive. That's just an inside joke for me, right? Because I'm from a Caribbean household, and we didn't, growing up, we were disciplined with a belt, right? You were disciplined. And so I used to joke around, and I used to say that when my mom would call and ask about my kids, I'd be like, yeah, they're good. They're still alive, right? And honestly, guys, there were days when it was so stressful. I didn't know if I was coming or going. And this is part of the reason why I do want to have these conversations and have these types of videos, and hopefully encourage a parent, encourage someone, encourage students as well, right? And once we learn how to open up with each other and trust each other and trust the process, you guys, right? Nothing happens overnight. Relationship is work. And it doesn't matter if it's a teacher and a child, a parent and a child, siblings, husband and wife. Relationship is work, and we have to work it. And yeah, hopefully, guys, you got something really, really inspiring and motivational and educational from what we spoke about today. I won't prolong any further. I want to thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for implementing the things that we spoke about. Leave a comment, like the video. Please share the video. I'm not sure when it's going to be uploaded, because I am a perfectionist, so I am going to listen and rewind and check and probably edit this video 1,000 times. Or if you hear it just like this, that means I sent it off just the way it was. And guys, yeah, I'm looking for encouragement and motivation and inspiration as well. So feel free to encourage me. We want to encourage each other, guys. Like, we have, a lot to do and a lot of hard days. There are times when I'm smiling and I could come here and encourage you, but make sure that you also leave a comment. And by you liking my videos, you're encouraging me. You're inspiring me. By you subscribing to my channel, you're encouraging and inspiring me to do more videos. And so, yeah, I'm hoping I'll upload a video. My goal when I first started this was to upload a video. I want to say like 3 videos for the week. That was my goal. So, and I think I'm about at the same place right now. I want to try to see if I can upload at least 3 videos for the week. That being said, it does take time to do everything and get everything out to you guys. So we'll see what we can accomplish. But I'm super excited. I cannot wait to watch my channel grow. So if you're here for the very, very first time, I welcome you again. You are welcome here. You are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. All right. You are welcome. I am so excited. I'm so elated to be doing this, you guys, because I cannot tell you like how long I've been wanting to just start sharing and creating content. And I have so much, so much that I want to do and get out there to you guys. So please be patient with me, because I am learning and I am growing, right, as a person and as, in this space called YouTube. And so please be patient with me. If you see that I'm not putting out a lot of videos, please be understanding, because I do have a lot going on other than YouTube. But I do want to dedicate myself to this channel. I really, really do. Because I believe in this channel a lot. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in what I'm doing. And so when you believe in what you're doing and you have a passion for people, you have a passion for helping people live better lives, and that's my sole purpose. I believe that's my sole purpose on earth, is helping people live better lives. And you'll get to know me more, and as you subscribe to my channel, and I'll give you more information. I also plan to have a membership on this channel, and I'll tell you guys more about that as we go along. All right, guys, but that's where I'm going to wrap for today. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you. I can't just thank you enough. And for those subscribers that I'm going to have, oh my goodness, I just can't wait. Thank you. Thank you guys. Just continue to just love on somebody. Just be kind to somebody. Be kind to one another, and be kind to yourself. You are amazing. You rock. And if you are a mother, do not give up. Tell yourself you love yourself tonight before you go to bed. Tell your children, if you have children, tell them that you love them. If they're not where you're at, call them. Tell them you love them. And if you've already raised them and you just feel like you messed them up and you didn't do such a great job, it's okay. Forgive yourself and let it go. But call your children. Send them a text message. Say, I love you. I know I didn't always show it, but I do love you. And I always just wanted the best for you, and I still do. So if you have the opportunity to do so, do it. Do it. Do it today. Don't wait. Do it while you're still in their lives and they're still around. You never know the time, the hour. People lose people all the time. Not to, throw a damper on anything. But I'm just saying, please, if you have the opportunity to tell your child or your children you love them and speak positive words over them, please do so. I remember my child, I used to say to him, you have greatness in you. When I wanted to say negative things, when I wanted to just, Lord have mercy, I had to get to a point where I had to say, you know what? I have to find something positive to say and speak over my child. Because sometimes the children don't even know themselves who they are. They don't know. And it's up to you, it's up to us to let them know who they are. You have to remind them that you are capable. When they come home and they're like, I can't do this, I don't want to do this, it's too hard. No, this is your child saying, I want to give up. Maybe it's hard, yes. But you got to let them know, not on my watch. I had to raise my children, and I remember I had to tell my son, I am not going to lose you. You are not going to do certain things, not on my watch. But I had to let him know in no uncertain terms that he was loved and that he had greatness in him. And I will share with you another time who my son is, where he's at, what he's doing, and we'll continue to learn and see how, just how inspiring we could be to each other, for each other. And once again, welcome to Brace Women Empowerment. I will leave you just like this. I love you guys. If you know me in person, you know I'm a loving person. And if you're just knowing me here for the first time, I'm all about love. I got pure love in my heart. Love. Is this the signal? Is this how you do it? Love. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon. Bye.